Welcome to another league with AmuLIT. I only made one change from the previous league. I added one Baloth in place of the third tracker. But everything else is pretty much the same. So let's see if this works out. Let's see if this makes sense. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave me those comments down below if you have any thoughts about the content. Always happy to hear those. And have an amazing time. So let's see if we can get that 5-0, which has been elusive lately. So let's see if we can secure that. See you there. Third league of the day with AmuLIT. Man, am I keeping this hand for the memes? We are on the draw. Chat, we have to submit this to a vote. How many keeps and how many moles do I have? So if I find any land, this is a turn 2 kill. Actual turn 2 kill. I love how everybody in chat is just like, they just want to see. Everybody in chat just want to see blood. They're like, yep, keep it easy. All right, who am I? Who am I to tell chat what to do? All right. Who am I to tell chat? So obviously it's a mulligan, but easy. Never did not have it. UR Prowess. I think I'm gonna explore here, and then I'm gonna copy their mountain and play a second AmuLIT, and we win next turn. This is what we don't 5-0. What do you mean? They are dead next turn. What do you mean that we don't 5-0? What do you mean that we don't 5-0? Clearly the hand was a keep, right? Obviously the hand was a keep. Not even close. It's really tough to say that with a straight face. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. It's you can never have enough overkill, right? There's no such thing as too much overkill. No such thing as too much overkill. So how much mana is too much mana? I love how my opponent doesn't fuck it up. They're like, I think I have a shot here. This is a close game. I think if my opponent... We have a very close game. Anybody's game at this point. Anybody's game. Anybody's game at this point. It could go either way. It could really go either way. You'd make me play it out. So obviously, whenever you see a hand like that on the draw, the correct line is always to keep. Basically, just not even think about it. It's an insta keep. I honestly have no idea why I tanked over that keep. No idea why I tanked over that keep. Set up with mana trace and ready to play decks that can actually win. The idea of winning games is appealing. I can see that. I can definitely see winning games being an appealing concept. It's an interesting idea though, right? Winning games. Gracer off the top one time, GG easy. Never lucky. It's a bit different for sure, yeah. You're probably not even used to it, JK, right? Gracer. Such a no blocker. Hey, you love to see that, that's for sure. Dryad? Yes, Dryad. And now that we drew the Titan, I'm just gonna play out the T-West here. This sounds like exactly what would happen if I played this deck. Like, this is exactly what would happen if I, for whatever reason, wanted to register Blue with Prowess for an event, or even play a league. The only bummer is that they don't have a 500-600 ticks option through Mana Trader, so definitely don't need a 50, but with 400 I almost think I'm gonna end up buying some fetch lands or enable some decks. Yeah, that's kind of what you, that's kind of what you need to do. A little bit. Gust my Dryad. Yeah, that's cool. How about this though? How about this? Play my land, so I think I'm just gonna double Radiant Fountain here. Build your own Obstinate Baloth, am I right? Am I right? Splendid, I might win ML2 for the fetch purchases. Would probably buy some in paper on them too. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. They did confirm them after all, right? Fetch lands apparently have been confirmed. I didn't see the written statement from Wizards, but I heard a lot of people say that that's the case. So Vapor Snag. That's a really big deal, actually. Down to one card, however. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So back for Dryad. Play Dryad. Land. Ping there. Oh, I just realized I could be going face. But what fun is it to go face, right? Why would anybody go face? Why would anybody ever go face when you can just kill your opponent's creatures? Sweet. See you in the next round. Welcome to round number 2 of this league. Playing against the companion deck, Lurrus. I feel like every other match is against the Lurrus deck. It's kind of insane how popular this card is right now. Looking forward to casting Primetime Sim Paper again. You have no idea, to kill me, Tarantino. You have no idea how much I'm looking forward to that. If I didn't know that I'm playing against a Lurrus deck, I would have shipped this hand, but this hand is actually pretty solid against the Lurrus deck. We have lands, we have a ramp, and we have a Titan already. They could have like discard spells and stuff, but like Castle is just so sick here. Interesting. I think I'm gonna play turn Timber tapped and say go. Because I could take damage here in order to play Stacy, but like my opponent going basic swamp, it makes me think that they have a push or something. And if they do, then I'd rather do it right now, like do it this turn. Don't be mill, don't be mill, don't be mill, don't be mill. That's mill. That's mill. Stacy? Yeah. Sakura Tribe Scout is Stacy. So for those of you that don't know, this matchup is unwinnable. Like very, very close to unwinnable. It is our absolute worst matchup in the entire format. And we do have some tools. We do have an Embercool, the Aeon Storm here after all, but we have some tools to give ourselves a shot, but that doesn't mean that the matchup is that much better. Titan has no nickname. We could say that Johnny is his nickname, because here's Johnny. Yeah, Primetime is his real nickname though. Your toolbox second, your opponent turns your toolbox into garbage. It's not so good. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but yeah, that's been my experience. This is rough though. So as is, I am milling. Fuck. Oh no. This is good. This is good. This is good. Pog. Don't surgical me. Whatever we do, we have to not mill at prime time. That's gonna be 10 cards milled. We have to not mill at prime time, and we have to not mill at Valakut. Or we just need my opponent to not have surgical. That's the other thing. That doesn't seem as likely. No. Don't just no. And this is why this match is just unwinnable. This is just why this match is unwinnable. I guess that we can draw exactly Valakut. If we draw exactly Valakut, We attack for 5. Mill 10. Attack for 5 again. I mean, I can attack just for 2. Or for 3. If I attack for 3, I top deck exactly Valakut. I Valakut them once, twice. Swing for 3 this turn, down to 6. Attack. Okay, so I guess that if I top deck exactly Valakut, if I double strike here, I can set up lethal next turn. So I think I have to do that. Path for prime time on upkeep? Why? So it gets surgical from my hand? Or did you say that before the mill? Oh, okay. Yeah. No, because of what just happened, right? Okay, Valakut or bust. That's both Valakuts gone. So we just die. I think 67 is cool. That was the last league. 4-1. Lost for the 5-0. Force of Vigor. Yeah, I mean the other 2 considerations are force and second explosives, but at that point I think I have diminishing returns basically. 34 lands out of a 67 card deck sounds good to me, but 34 lands out of a 69 card deck. Honestly, like 67 seems like a little bit too many already. I would think about cutting maybe 1 Dismember. Man, that's so fucked up that they had the surgical. This matchup is just so miserable. And the worst part is I have a very, very special skill that I always draw my Emrakul. It really is astonishing how often that happens. But like whether it's like Gaia's Blessing or Emrakul or Kozilek or whatever anti-mill hate or thing that I'm choosing to put, I literally just said it. It's brutal. Like it really is brutal. Okay. It's crazy how often I manage to. There was an argument for exploring there. That is because if my opponent plays an orb here, because the orb triggers every time any permanent untaps. So like even with your bounce lands, every time that you do the thing with your AmuLIT trigger when it sack, you get milled. If we draw a Titan, we can actually cast it, so I'm gonna do this again. I really don't know what to say. It's uncanny. Like, it really is incredible. Like, it really is absurdly ridiculous how often this happens. It's out of this world. It's out of this world how often this happens. It's insane. Like, it really is ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. And I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I really don't know what to do about it. Like, it's just... Anyway. Oh, I fucked up my sequencing. I had to play the Sanctuary first. I'm an idiot. So now my opponent can actually surgically Titan from my hand. I'm just kind of tilted, and I'm just throwing here. I guess my opponent doesn't have it. There's no way they don't have it. Archive trap. That's fine. Please don't have another one. They have another one, of course, of course, of course. Okay. You can't have a third one. Come on. Oh, they just had a counter spell for this? Fuck, man. Like... I'm just too tilted. Let's... I really want to just concede here. Okay. At least my opponent's going to surgical me and just... Yeah, there we go. Alright. See you for the next round. Alright, welcome to round number 3. After a miserable loss against Mill in the previous round, due to me being very, very skilled at naturally drawing my Emrakul, we are back at it for round number 3. My opponent says, oh my, I'm gonna lose so bad people will think you're paying me. And whenever people say stuff like that, very, very often, I get completely destroyed by them, so... Okay, that was a good draw. Not gonna lie, that was pretty good. Whoops. The warrior PM drummer will know the never prep for anything. True. Way too real. Way too real. So I guess there's not really a reason to bog them. So I think I'm just gonna get some green sources into play. I already have a T-West in hand, so my next Titan is set up and ready to go. They have to answer my Titan, otherwise they're dead. Well, that's a shadow. Asusa. How do I set up lethal here? They showed me Watery Grave and they tapped the Watery Grave. So that means probably no Stubborn Denial. That means probably no Stubborn Denial. Let's start here and see what happens. I should have left blue mana. That was just a mistake on my part. So I can force the Chomp here, which is cool. I can force the Chomperino. We can't haste, but that seems fine to me. Because we trade this Primetime for the Shadow, which is a forced block on my opponent's side. And then we take it from there. Because like, as long as my opponent can't win, we're gonna be fine. My opponent can do a defensive TBR here, which is funny. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna assign all of the combat damage to the Shadow. So that means that my opponent's gonna remain at 5. I could assign 1 point of damage. That makes the Shadow a 9/9. Yeah, that's the correct thing. And we're good to go here. Pass the turn. Alluded to this earlier, but any thoughts on the Ward 3 for mana fixing? No. No. As is, we already don't have enough slots for all the lands that we want to play, and the Ward 3 is just not a good land. It's just not good enough. There's a super huge cost for putting literally any land. Putting literally any land in your deck. And that bar is Basic Forest. If whichever land you're playing is not as good as Basic Forest, then you should be playing the Basic Forest instead. And you'd be surprised, but most lands are not as good as Basic Forest. 2, 3, 4. And the World Tree definitely belongs. Oh, well, I'm just misclicking here, making bad plays randomly, but you get the point, right? You get the point of what I'm trying to do. Just losing focus and making nonsense play, but it just doesn't matter. Just got to random Blink Moth plus Kessig Warford's combo. I have played Ink Moth in AmuLIT in the past. It's not very good. I don't recommend it. You think it's good, but it's not. You really want to think that it's actually a playable thing to be doing in the deck. It just is not. Been wondering if there is any new land we want to play. Is there any effect that we want that doesn't already exist on a land? Field of the Dead. I mean, it's one of those things where I would have never thought of this land being a thing, right? I would have never ever thought that a land like this could be printed. So like trying to guess what land you would have, it's not a particularly valuable way to spend your time, in my opinion. An anti-mill land, that would be pretty cool actually. Tier 1 sub for K Jenkins, coming back for the 5 months in a row. Thank you so much for that, Jenkins. You've made me a vet. Sweet, awesome. Are you aware that the ad before I could watch this stream not only derided my Fortnite abilities, but also tacitly implied I should eat a chipotle? What kind of establishment am I running here? And I'm running the kind of establishment that has literally no control over the ads that get played. So yeah, that's the kind of establishments that I'm running. What about turn timber but the sides flip? That would be nuts. If the sides were flipped for turn timber, I think that we would play 4 copies. With the same effect, right? Like with the very, very high capability of whiffing, like all of that stuff, but you flip the sides of the land, and it's insane. Fair enough. Have a nice day. Oh, Arcane, you know better than that. You know better than that. Chipotle OP. To be fair, I do like Chipotle, so at least there's that. I lived in Boston for a long time. Ooh, Robert. I lived in Boston for like 4 years. And there is a company there that's called Boloco, which stands for Boston Local Company. And their burritos are bomb. Just bomb. We're in Boston. It's like a local company in Boston. They have multiple locations and stuff. Or you mean where did I live in Boston? play this? I guess I do play this. Did I Gracer? Oh, that's right. Damping Sphere. Duh. That's okay, opponent. I just wanted to shock my to bolt myself just to show you. Did I ever go to Anna's while I was there? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, Boston, you like Boloko. It's all about the same to me. It is the same, but like when I was in school, there was a Boloko like half a block away. So let's say that many lunches ended up there. Qdoba, oh yeah. Qdoba is good. You don't like Qdoba? Oh, I did not mind Qdoba as much. Like obviously it wasn't as good as the other ones, but like it was okay. I think I ate there like once or maybe twice. To be fair, I didn't go there very particularly often. That's a sweet top deck. Am I attacking though? I think so. Like my opponent has no control over. Oh, but I should have played my lands first. Definitely should have played my lands first. I think we're looking pretty good here. What is this Lurrus pile? I don't know. They were playing Shadow and they were playing blue cards. But they're also playing Croxa and they're playing Dark Confidant. So I am fairly confused at this stage. Did we lose to Mill? Yeah, of course. Did you end up rowing Emmy or something? Yes, exactly. When would I get paired? I mean, why would I get paired against Mill if I'm not going to draw my Emrakul? I'm guessing you went to the Boloko and Mass Avenue or Symphony, Berkeley. It's, yeah. Lots of decent spots there. I really like Woody's, even though the service was so bad. But the pizza was just excellent. So my friends and I, we would go there and every time we would be treated like shit. Like, we would always be treated like shit for whatever reason. But we would just continue going because like it was just very, very good pizza. I liked it a lot. So Woody's was great. Then there was so my opponent can technically push me here. So this plays around push. Because I have the land in hand. You used to work on stream in Boylston. Awesome. Yeah, it's a beautiful area. I loved living there so much. It was such a great time. All right, see you for the next round. Welcome to round number 4. Currently 2-1 in this league. Let's see if we can get another nice little 4-1. This hand is hella slow. I'm gonna ship it. This hand is better. Not by a lot, but better because we're on the play. If we were on the draw, I would ship this hand, but on the play, I think I'm gonna keep it. Now the question is, which one of these do I want to keep? I think I want to hold on to the Ghost Quarter. What decks do I own IRL? Well, AmuLIT, obviously. Oh, speak of. I own AmuLIT, I own Green-White Reclaimer, which I actually have right here. I have, I guess this could be like a pre-modern deck. That's what I was thinking about the other day. Like I was getting into pre-modern, which it's a sweet format, which looks absolutely amazing, and it's basically everything that I would want to be doing with Magic. Love the attack. Great attack from opponent. I think I may have to go squatter here. And that means that I can draw an AmuLIT here, and we can turn the corner. I wanted to go to Berkeley, but it turns out they only take people who are very good at their instruments. Oh, damn it. Actually, low school will let anybody in. Were those blue-green mana cards from a pre-modern deck? I mean, I didn't build it as a pre-modern deck. It's basically, I built this deck just because it was my deck from way back in the day when I was a kid. So I have the version that I was playing back then. And the version that I was playing back then didn't have 2 intuitions. I only had the 1. So this version is playing like Arrow and Worm and like Circular Logic. And I only had 1 intuition, which is this one, which is super, super beat up. I got it for 15 pesos from a friend. And I couldn't believe that I had spent 15 pesos on a card. Like I actually spent multiple days, multiple weeks, if not months, to get to own the 15 pesos so I could buy that card. So I can Titan here, but it just doesn't matter because my opponent has Triad and AmuLIT. 1, 2, 3, prime time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm short. If I wanted to do both things in the same turn, but then my opponent just kills me because if they have Titan. Okay. I think we're pretty dead here. So I'm gonna need to pay for Pact. So I'm just gonna get double Valakut here and set up for like if somehow my opponent doesn't have Titan, then we can kill them with Valakut. Yeah, my opponent's trying out Trinket Mage. That's cool. The only problem that I have with Trinket Mage is that we actually have an Old Order Trinket Mage now. So like why is my opponent not playing the Old Order Trinket Mage? That's the only thing that worries me a little bit, but I guess I have not opened the Trinket Mage yet, huh? Well, this is just dead, so. These are the cards that interest me. All can go. Explores. Jiho is a ringer with AmuLIT. He's a local and basically never loses. Okay, good to know. Is that just for AmuLIT and post-board EE? In the past, whenever I've drawn, like for example, I was playing Trinket Mage in the Hogak metagame. The reasoning was that AmuLIT was extremely, extremely important in the Hogak matchup specifically. And also in post-hour the games, you could get Grafdigger's Cage, Tormod's Crypt, Explosives, Piling Needle, Relic of Progenitors, like stuff like that. If you're playing Ballista and Chalices, you can also get them with Trinket Mage. So you have like a little bit of a toolbox thing. What did we miss? We lost game 1 to the mirror. I was work stabs. Well, this hand is perfectly fine, but this hand cannot win the mirror match. God damn it. I mean, this hand is not that much better, but like I don't think I can really realistically go to 5. What's up, Greco? Doing well. Not doing a lot of winning today. I guess that's not true now that I think about it. No, we've been doing okay winning. What did I take out from Ticket Mage? It was a completely different time. Quantum Solar. Many cards had not been printed yet. Like this card had not been printed yet, so it was a completely different reality. So it's not that I was cutting cards. I was just building the deck completely differently because a bunch of cards simply did not exist. Is there anything kind of under the radar you'd want out of MH2 for pre-modern sets other than obvious ones like Caracas, Crop Rod, etc.? Wild Mongrel. I love me some Wild Mongrel. It's not very good, I don't think. But it's such a cool card. Nothing realistically, no. I think Caracas could be fine. I think Caracas has the potential of being okay. So we're just gonna go Bounce Land, Ghost Squatter. The 1-mana cantrip looks sweet to try an amulet. I'm very skeptical about it. I'm gonna try it, of course, but I don't think it's gonna be great. I may be wrong though. I've been wrong before. I have been wrong before, I'll tell you as much. I'm playing one Dryad first because if my opponent has Force or Dismember, exactly. Now we can play the second Dryad. I'll save targets. And the target is your face. Wait, what? No. Always healed. Okay, there we go. Have you heard of Noose Constrictor? Noose Constrictor is just a worse Wild Mongrel. Why Bounce plus Ghost Squatter? Good question, Greco. So the only way that my opponent could have won that game is if they did exactly what happened, which is to like find an amulet and then have a bounce land, because that means that my opponent gets to break serve. Amulet is the mirror breaker in that sense. I guess Amulet and Dryad are both the mirror breakers. They are the only cards that allow you to be the one that even though all things equal, whoever plays the first Titan will win in the mirror. The only exception is if any of the players has access to Dryad or Dryad and or Amulet. Those cards are the mirror breakers. So by using Ghost Squatter, I'm making sure that I have access to the mirror breaker, and I can actually come back from my opponent being ahead because they did draw their Amulet. Because otherwise, all things equal, I resolve the Titan first, right? So I am just going to win. The only thing that they can break serve is if they have access to the Amulet. So by having access to Ghost Squatter, I mean that that means that even though they might have access to the Amulet, we're still okay in that sense. Hopefully they play Dryad here. If they play Rex Age. Here we see a similar scenario, right? My opponent can Ghost Squatter me. And they do. And now, that having happened, we can do this. One thing I've learned for this deck by now is to always ask the why things to understand. Yeah, for sure. Asking questions is great. Big fan of asking questions. Opponent's missing land drops. Now that I drew the second bounce land, I guess I can do this. My opponent's missing land drops, so I don't need to hold up Ghost Squatter. And they already used their Ghost Squatter. So we can do this. Blow up Dryad. They packed for Excavator. Well, that's messed up. I was not expecting my opponent to have access to Excavator. So that probably wins. Oh no. That doesn't win. I think that they lost. Yikes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, they didn't. Because they had the second land. They would have lost if they hadn't had the second land, basically. I think we're packing for Azusa here, folks. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Because I was thinking, we packed for Azusa, we play 1, 2, 3. We go squatter their Gruul Turf, and then they can't, like, we have 1, 2, 3 to pay for own pack, but they have to be tapped out for their turn. But what they can do is they can replay Gruul Turf from the graveyard, and then bounce Ghost Squatter, and then replay Ghost Squatter. So I think we're just dead here. Yeah, they would have lost if they didn't have another land, but they did, so. I am 1 mana short of Titan. And we don't have... Spider Tom, you should read how Ghost Squatter works. They get to look for basic. And they showed us two Snow Cover Forest on the previous game, so we know for a fact that they have at least 2 more basics in their deck. So Ghost Squatter in them is just bad play. I'm trying to see if I have any outs. But I think I don't. I think I am actually just dead here. So my out is to draw... My out is to draw Dismember, or... We have 3 Dismembers. We don't have Bojuge Bog. So we're looking for Dismember... Asusa, I can't pact for her. It has to be like a natural Asusa. I guess my own Dryad also is interesting. Those are the cards that matter. Anything that is not any of those cards don't really matter anymore. And starting next turn, not even those cards matter. So I have to top deck either one of those cards right now. Okay, what does that do for me? Okay. So now they can Ghost Quarter me a couple of times. Oh, they just drew a Titan. Never mind, we're dead. I have to Ghost Quarter themselves if they want to cast Titan. If I War Quarter the opponent, they would not have been able to Ghost Quarter me. That's not true. They just Ghost Quarter me in response, right? And I just oh, you mean when they had to pay for pact? Yeah, I already explained how that doesn't work. Remember that this decoration will use Summer Bloom before that card was banned. Anyway, if it was unbanned, how would you think this deck would look? Broken. Have a question, is ramming the card in the mirror? I don't see it being good. I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you. I literally lost because my opponent backed it for this card, and there was nothing I could do. Like, I literally lost to the Ramineb Excavator. I was not expecting them to have Ramineb. I don't think this card is very good. Like, I don't think you should be playing it in the current metagame, but... Opponent... Oh, they're playing around Dismember. But if I had Dismember, they would be dead. If I had had Dismember, they would have just been dead. Right on time, god damn it. Can't even haste. F's in chat for me. And we can't go find Vesuva either. Crap. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I guess I didn't know this, but if I had gone for the bounce land, I guess it wouldn't have mattered. We would be in the same spot. Two blue, yeah, they have two blue. Yep, I am dead. Yeah, I am dead. How do you want me to dismember when I'm completely tapped out? This requires mana to be cast. GG's. Yeah, my opponent playing a significantly different plan. Like obviously, like the ramming up was just game, right? And this is why I just don't think that Pact of Negation is a good card in the matchup. Like, if my opponent hadn't had the ramming up, like look at their mana base, right? Look at their mana base. Their mana base is just doesn't really support Pact very well. Like they were super all in here. If I had had one more mana, they would have lost. I just don't think that Pact of Negation is a good card in the mirror. This ramming up obviously just worked over time though. And my opponent played it very well. Alright, see you for the last round. Welcome to the last round of the day. What do we have here? Just an unkeepable hand. This hand is a turn 3 Explore, it's just too slow. Even on the draw, if this were an Azusa, I would probably ship it as well. This hand is better. Better by a significant amount. So I think I'm just gonna bottom the second pact here. We can go turn 1 Amulet, turn 2 Explore into Castle. And then if we find a bounce land, we just have Titan mana on turn 3. This card is messed up. This card is hella messed up. Opponent is a Tron gamer. And any bounce land does it, which is nice. Opponent. There we go. So I think I have to draw towards finding bounce land off the top. All right, turn 3 Tron for opponent. Amulet also gives me a Titan, but I need to find Amulet off of the Explore. Oh, come on, opponent. Step 6. Or like, just crack your expedition map or whatever. Literally nothing for them to do. I have no idea why they're doing this. Anyway, anybody has some cool stories while we wait for my opponent to just click? Sweet. All right. So that is Titan mana next turn. So they can have Karn liberated here. They could also just be playing, just play Wormcoil. That's sweet. Yeah, that works. So I guess this is just a Eldrazi Tron. So I guess please don't chalice me is what I should be saying. Sweet. All right, so we should win here. Things are getting a little bit laggy here. So we can go get a second Titan here because we have the Azusa. Also, while we're at it, we can play the Dryad too. Okay. Have I seen the new 2 white ETB trigger taxes? It's actually 1 and a white. So I think my opponent's on the Eldrazi Tron. We want that, we want that, we want that. And I think Tracker and Baloth are okay. Grazer sucks. A couple of Stacies can go. Bog is bad. And we can cut Carnosaurs. So we know we're playing against E-Tron. The sand seems just a little bit too slow. Ugh. Yeah, this is slightly better, but I still think not keepable. This is the best hand we've seen so far, so we'll keep this one. We are on the draw though, which is pretty brutal. And I'm gonna keep the breeding pool because it's possible that my opponent can kill my Dryad, so sick top deck. Sick top deck, never didn't have it, etc, etc. Holy funk, it's actually 1 white. Yeah. It seems like it may be playable. But on the other hand, I have no idea what Taxus decks are supposed to look like, so I'm definitely not the correct person to ask about that one. I think if they play it against us, it could be pretty impactful. So I think it's gonna be potentially an issue, but which card? It's 1 and a white, and then it just taxes it just taxes. When I originally read it, it said I thought that it said that it taxed ETB effects from creatures, but it taxes ETB effects from permanents, which is a big deal because it taxes the untapped triggers from AmuLIT, right? Can we find a Primeval Titan? Nope. No Primeval Titan to be found. So I'm just gonna play this as a blocker. Bounce, replay. Am I trading? I think I'm not trading. I think I'm attacking. So I'm just gonna chomp with the Rex Sage. It is sometimes a plus for bounce land, that's for sure. Okay, we can't beat the second Smasher. So. I think I'd rather have Stacy than Gracers. Gracer seems just a little bit too lackluster. My opponent has dismembers and stuff, but probably if they use dismember on a Stacy, I'm maybe happy about that. My opponent has to be double queuing or something, because they're just taking a long time to just do nothing. So I'm assuming that they are double queuing. Sand is close. Sand is close. I guess I'm keeping it. We are on the play. On the draw, I think I would chip this hand, but being on the play, we get to explore on turn 3. Sets up our Dryad. We have a Force of Vigor to interact. Probably pitching Asusa to the Force, if I have to. Freddy coming with the tier 1 side for 6 months in a row. Thank you. Thank you so much for the subscription, Freddy. Any interest in trying Red-Green Lance? You know what? Like, Lance is a deck that I gave a chance to a couple of times, because whenever I saw other people play it, I thought it was like one of the sweetest decks I had ever seen. But then in reality, I got the cards and everything. I literally owned the deck in MTGO. And every time I played it, it kind of didn't click. It's strange. Like I don't really have an explanation for that phenomenon, but I don't know. It just didn't really work out for me. Which is pretty strange. It kind of is what it is though. So there's nothing I can do as far as casting a Titan next turn. So I'd rather put the Valakut in play. Have you tried it since Valakut? Okay, yeah, a lot to the deck for me. I have not. I've seen it in action, but like in Legacy, I've been just playing Reclaimer decks, and I've been having a lot of fun with those. So between those and Esprivile, I'm not particularly looking for something to play in Legacy, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to force decoding here. And we're not going to play Dryad, because my opponent gets the minus for Sundering Titan. So we're just going to hold on to the Dryad until we play it and it's lethal. I guess that we can even just Trinisphere. That's a super weird thing to go get. Sweet. No idea when my opponent would get Trinisphere there. But now we get to win, so that's awesome. Why would they get Trinisphere? That's so bad. Yeah, I guess if they're ghosting, it makes sense. It does make sense if they're ghosting. Like, it's literally the only way, right? Because it is just infinitely better by so much to get liquid metal coating. So the only thing that makes sense is for them to be ghosting here. Like, coding just, if they don't know about the force, coding just wins the game. Because I can't Titan, then I fall further and further behind, and then the current just takes over. So yeah, so the only answer that makes sense, like the only way to justify this play is if my opponent is ghosting. Nah, I'm not gonna hide my hand. We're winning very easily. We are winning extremely easy right here, so there's no reason. Also, it is even more satisfying, right? Not only is my opponent ghosting, but we also get to beat them anyway. It's just beautiful. They have no way to answer the... they have no way to answer anything, I guess. So... this is just lethal? Because green, and 2 colorless, so we just kill both things. I guess I only kill the... So they need to use this member now. They can't take all of this damage. They have to dismember. I'm just wondering whether I care about destroying this or not. What happens if instead of that... Because like this card doesn't do anything anymore. Like this card is... I'm not worried about this card. If they have a second card, that's a little bit more problematic. But what I'm thinking about right now is that I can take this trade. No, but taking the trade is just bad for us. No. I don't want to trade with the worm. Because if my opponent has slot knots here, they get to take my pact and then I have no Titan. So trading with the worm is just bad. But I'm seriously considering just killing this and not killing this. I think I'm going to kill it anyway because otherwise my opponent gets a 3-3. But yeah, at this point, like, we know that my opponent is ghosting. I've seen the new Abundant Harvest preprint for MH2. The card seems good counter for AmuLIT. I think that I'm gonna try it. What is it? Harvest or Abundant? There we go. Smasher doesn't do too much. Double Smasher. It's not lethal. And they tapped out. Okay, so we win. Imagine ghosting and losing, right? Imagine ghosting and still losing. Man. Imagine ghosting and still losing. All right. That's 3 leagues of AmuLIT today. We went 3-2. We lost playing for the 4-1. We lost playing for the 5-0 in the second league, and then we got another 3-2, which is fine. It's not like insane or anything, but pretty solid win rate overall. We did get paired against a couple of pretty bad matchups in the male one, and we did get a little bit unlucky in a couple of spots, but overall I think the deck is very good. I think it's a great choice in the current metagame, and I think that if you want to be playing this, you could be doing a lot worse. This list is what I would consider to be the closest to being stock if I were to like give a name to a list like this. So I think this is very strong, and it's a great choice. It's a great choice. So of course it's a deck that rewards a lot of practice, and definitely a lot of repetition, and very, very much a lot of tuning. So definitely if you are playing in a metagame where you expect more aggressive decks, you can consider adding maybe some more bailouts. If you expect a deck of a bunch of control decks, you can bring in Cavern of Souls, more tireless trackers, etc. So you should be changing things accordingly. But overall, it's a very strong deck. I highly recommend it. And if you enjoyed it, of course, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button for infinite hours of AmuLIT Titan content. Leave a comment down there if you feel like so, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, folks.